Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please make your way to your seats.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 28th Annual Inclusive Excellence Awards. We're really glad to be back in person. Welcome. And our heartfelt congratulations to the recipients. At this time, I would like to invite Chief Human Resources Officer Terry to the stage.
So I have a script, and I'm not going to stay on it. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 28th Annual Inclusive Excellence Awards. It's so awesome to see you all in person, see your beautiful faces. For those of you who are joining us on Zoom, thank you for being on Zoom to celebrate with us. One of the things that energizes me is standing here with our leaders and all of you who are aligned around the importance of this work and the shared vision for inclusive excellence. I am committed to delivering on our promise for the UC San Diego People Proposition, our anchors of equity, inclusion, care, growth, and purpose ground everything that we do to support the employee experience. When we deliver on that promise to create and hold space for people to bring their whole selves to UC San Diego, when we enable connection and engagement to our mission through meaningful work so people feel energized by the impact that they can have, when we retain and attract employees because they come here to innovate, to pursue inclusive excellence, to experience the psychological safety necessary to break things better, when we do those things, the entire UC San Diego community becomes stronger. I love learning about the efforts of our award recipients today, like how do y'all do that and your regular jobs, who each in their own areas are building on that promise. And I'm excited and honored to have you all as my colleagues. Please continue on with the great work. At this time, I'd like to welcome up our Chancellor, Pradeep Khosla.
Thank you, Terry, and good afternoon, everybody. And I have a script, and I will stay on it. I'm just trying to be the contrarian. Terry was asking me, "Are you going to stay on script?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know what's in the script." But anyway, welcome everybody. I think you've heard this twice already. Let me repeat it again because it's in the script. 28th Annual Inclusive Excellence Awards. And I want to emphasize 28 because that's a significant number of years. To be able to sustain this type of effort for that many years really speaks to our longstanding commitment to not only attaining inclusive excellence, as in excellence where everybody's included, but also creating opportunities for just about everyone, or actually not just about every one of us, to achieve excellence in our own way, and to really come up and to rise to leadership positions, to make a bigger impact than we were when we joined UC San Diego. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And as soon as I leave, I'll come to every one of you individually. And if I don't come, just imagine I'm there, because I really mean this. Every piece of work you do, every bit of work you do really makes us a better place. And I can tell you, I hear this from outside. So when I first got here 11 years ago, it was easy for people to say, "Oh yeah, we don't have this, we don't have that." Now when I go out, the community believes that we are committed to the community. Our own people believe that we have made a lot of progress in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have made a lot of progress in achieving excellence across the board. And all of this is due to not only each and every one of your bits of work that you do, but also due to the leadership. So let me acknowledge our Vice Chancellor EDI, Becky Pettit. Thank you, Dr. Pettit, for your leadership. Thank you, Terry, for your leadership in leading our HR. No, I'm serious, because leadership at this institution is not just about faculty, it's not just about students, it's not just about staff, and also acknowledge Dr. Elizabeth Simmons, our Executive Vice Chancellor, for her leadership in terms of diversifying our faculty and students. And while I'm at it, there are other vice chancellors who are all contributing very aggressively to this. Dr. Margaret Lynon, thank you for what you have done for scripts oceanography. Dr. Peek-Asa, thank you for our Vice Chancellor Research. Dr. Allison Satterland, thank you for your student affairs progress. And somebody who literally just walked in. Why are we laughing? Part of being in leadership is to find a good time to walk into a leadership position so you can take credit. Dr. John Carruthers, our Vice Chancellor of Health Sciences. It's my prediction that next year he would be acknowledged for work that he's going to do over the next 12 months. It'll be truly spectacular in terms of diversifying everything that we have out here. Now, let me tell you one more thing, which is just recently, we were recognized by Forbes as one of the most, how should I say, one of the best employers to work for and one of the most diverse employers in the nation, actually. It's not just in San Diego, but just so you know. And I did not vote, by the way. They did not ask me for my opinion, okay? What they did not even ask me who works at UC San Diego. They randomly chose people who work at UC San Diego and sent them a survey. And that's what they do for all the companies. And we were as one of the top employers on their list. And again, this reflects each and everything that you all do. And to our honorees of today for your Inclusive Excellence Awards, you have earned it. But in earning this, you have not only made yourselves better, but you have made this institution better, because you showed people how to rise to the challenge. You showed people how within the constraints of this bureaucracy, there are still flexibilities and ways to do business that one can really change who we are and where we are. And in doing so, you have made UC San Diego a better place. So I really want to congratulate each and every one of you. Really appreciate everything you're doing. I can read your bios, I can read, but I think if you want to watch your TV script out here rather than listen to me. But thank you, everybody. Really appreciate this. And let me now bring to the stage the one and only Dr. Becky Pettit.
Good afternoon. I too have a script and I am sticking to it. What a pleasure to have this ceremony every year, where we pause to acknowledge, to thank, and to appreciate our colleagues who have, most of you, gone, as Terry said, above and beyond your job descriptions to make UC San Diego a better place to work. Better for yourselves, better for your current colleagues, better for our students, and better for future generations. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are here to honor you. I'm always tempted when I have a microphone to talk about all of our amazing progress. I will focus on you today, our award winners, and the role you played in that progress. I do want to take a moment to thank those who took the time to nominate a faculty member, a staff member, a student, a unit, a department who demonstrated commitment to achieving inclusive excellence. As you all know, as Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, I provide leadership and I partner with leaders and units across campus to advance our institutional goal for equity, diversity, and inclusion every day. As I said, we are here to honor you today. We are here to honor your contributions, your commitment, and your unwavering passion for making UC San Diego a better place. We've done so much important work together, thanks to your contributions, your innovative efforts, and your inspiring leadership. Our strategic plan for inclusive excellence has at its core an enduring commitment to intentional, sustainable, transformative approaches that have a real and meaningful impact. Our three core tenets, access and success, climate and accountability, guide our efforts as we shape UC San Diego together. Our award recipients embody these values and our core tenets. And I want to encourage us to continue to work together to ensure the visibility of our collective efforts, to leverage our best practices, and to be grounded in and accountable through data, and remain committed to learning and innovation. So thank you all again for being excellent examples for helping to build, as I said, not only a better UC San Diego today, but also a better tomorrow. I'm honored to be a member of this community that engages in this kind of work sincerely, and we'll hear more about this today. So congratulations again to our award recipients. And I want to now turn us to the amazing video that's going to highlight our 2023 Inclusive Excellence honorees.
As part of the Advancing Faculty Diversity program, UC San Diego has launched 3 cluster hire initiatives that are accelerating our progress in building a more diverse cadre of faculty and an inclusive climate throughout our university community. Their presence will elevate the visibility and expand the impact of our programs in Black diaspora and African American studies, Chicanx Latinx studies, Latin American studies, and inclusive human-centered design. Modeled on a collective impact framework, the 3 steering committees provide support and guidance to their associated cluster hires, formally launching the initiatives, developing strategies for the hires, and then serving on the search committees. It is my very great pleasure to announce the members of these steering committees as the recipients of this year's Inclusive Excellence Awards for Academic Affairs.
Our colleagues in the Center for Faculty Diversity and Inclusion provided leadership with all 3 cluster hire initiatives by helping to identify faculty partners, submit thoughtful proposals, and they continue to help guide the successful execution of the initiatives. The faculty who said yes to serving as PIs are simply fantastic. They are all in. They genuinely care not only about hiring excellent researchers from diverse backgrounds, but they are equally invested in ensuring that we first create the right environment for new colleagues to thrive. And the faculty and campus administrators who are a part of this initiative have formed relationships across disciplinary areas as they work toward our shared goal, and they're having fun. They're creating lasting partnerships, which helps to build their own sense of belonging and well-being at UC San Diego. So taken together, these 3 cluster hire initiatives, all of the people, all of the parts are coming together to truly transform UC San Diego in meaningful ways. Thank you to our AFD teams and congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Congratulations. It's such a great pleasure to get to honor you in this way.
My congratulations to the Advancement EDI Steering Committee and EDI Working Committee as Inclusive Excellence Awards honorees. UC San Diego Advancement serves as a bridge between the university and the public to expand fundraising to benefit our campus. Societal changes have inspired an outpouring of interest across our advancement team to address equity, diversity, and inclusion issues to affect systemic change. The volunteer members of the EDI steering and working committees led the exploration of advancement's challenges and helped us navigate sometimes difficult discussions to gain the collective understanding necessary to facilitate change. Together, the committees investigated processes and tools to initiate an ethical and sustainable diversity, equity, and inclusion plan. Today, we continue to support systemic change by partnering to advance key areas like hiring, employee retention and promotion, training and education, communications, and fundraising and constituent interaction. To all current and former EDI committee members, as well as the steering committee, I offer my sincere gratitude. Each one of you has given your valuable time, unique experience, and personal perspective that has and continues to make this work successful. Thank you for allowing me this time to recognize our outstanding colleagues for their leadership and commitment to inclusive excellence.
I'm so pleased that the Division of Ethics and Compliance is being recognized as this year's recipient of the Inclusive Excellence Award. This award recognizes the meaningful steps the division has taken in support of their overall strategy, which is to promote an inclusive and welcoming climate, to attract diverse talent, and to improve retention. In support of this strategy, the Division of Ethics and Compliance established 2 equity, diversity, and inclusion focus work groups in 2020. The EDI Advisory Work Group and the Staff Engagement Work Group. The EDI Advisory Work Group advises and makes recommendations to the Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer. This is all within the framework of our UC San Diego Strategic Plan for Inclusive Excellence. The work group identifies specific, actionable, and meaningful steps to improve climate, access, success, and accountability. This past year, the work group has developed many recommendations, including best practices in recruitment and retention, education and training, staff development opportunities, pathways for advancement, and one of the most important, accountability. Accountability, as you know, is essential to ensure that recommendations and best practices are regularly followed, and to make sure that programs create the intended results. The second work group, known as the Staff Engagement Work Group, provides advice and recommendations for activities to boost staff engagement. This work group fosters a positive and welcoming climate among all staff to ensure all staff feel valued, included, and supported. And in collaboration with the staff, the group works to develop staff engagement activities that focus on climate, engagement, and inclusivity. So, I congratulate the Division of Ethics and Compliance on these excellent steps that they have taken to be champions of equity, diversity, and inclusion. You're helping to improve our university community each and every day, and you're making a real difference. Keep up the great work.
Charles Gerbracht works in the Information Technology Services Department as the Senior Director of the IT Business Office. Charles has been instrumental in helping ITS with inclusive excellence, including revamping our selection panels and increasing diversity in the candidate pool. She did that in many ways. She found new ways to recruit that reach harder to find talent. She implemented implicit bias training for all search committee members. She changed our postings so that they are more welcoming with an eye on women in IT, and let ITS fashion its approach to flexible work arrangements supportive of our staff, especially those with family care and other needs. In addition to all of that and her normal IT job, Charles has served as the Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Advisor to me and to the VC CFO area for the past several years.
As an EDI advisor, Cheryl chaired and facilitated the VC CFO's Committee on Inclusive Excellence. Her work on behalf of this committee has benefited the entire Vice Chancellor area as she supported and promoted EDI initiatives, as well as striving to make connections between the VC CFO units and all of the areas across campus. Cheryl has tracked metrics and goals for the committee and ensured that actionable steps were being taken to promote equity, diversity, and inclusion at UC San Diego. Cheryl partnered with all the university's research centers and associations to amplify their missions and find ways to link their work with the VC CFO's EDI work. Her tireless efforts have enhanced our entire university by building a more welcoming and inclusive environment through her committee's service. And Cheryl, I'd like to thank you very much for your recognition in this award and all of your work over the years.
And on a personal level, Charles has pushed me, encouraged me, and supported me through my journey to DI. And for that, I am very grateful. Thank you, Charles.
The Division of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion's Inclusive Excellence Awardee this year is Dr. Christine Kalansky. Christine leads our equity-minded research and data analytics team, which supports our campus through research and data analysis that inspires a culture of data-informed decision-making with equity at the center of our deliberations. For the last 3 years, Christine has helped to transform how we use data at UC San Diego. She is that rare scholar practitioner whose sophisticated understanding of sociology and data analysis helps us to make meaning out of the data. She helps us to examine the structures, practices, and policies behind the numbers. And she helps to educate our campus about the ethical use of data and its potential to be helpful or harmful. She's always encouraging us to keep in mind that we bring our worldviews to the process of data collection, analysis, and use. She's been a fantastic partner in helping to improve our strategic plan for inclusive excellence accountability process through helping to leverage data to empower the right people to act and helping leaders to make the connection between their daily decisions and the subsequent diversity-related outcomes. Christine, this award recognizes your leadership and your partnership in helping to pave the way, not just for data to improve our institutional effectiveness, but to help us create a better and more just world. Thank you for sharing your gifts, and thank you for helping me to be a better leader. Congratulations on your well-deserved award.
I'm thrilled to congratulate Dr. Eric Ma as Health Sciences honoree for this year's Inclusive Excellence Award. Dr. Ma founded the Health Sciences LGBTQ+ Equality Group, bringing colleagues across the academic and clinical enterprise together in a safe and welcoming environment. Since then, he has been a consistent advocate for our faculty, staff, and residents, serving on a number of critical inclusion initiatives. Dr. Ma has been instrumental in helping us create a more inclusive and welcoming environment in the health sciences. Eric, on behalf of all health sciences, congratulations on this award, and thank you for your dedicated efforts on behalf of our LGBTQIA+ community. I'm now delighted to invite Senior Associate Vice Chancellor Gary Firestein to say a few words. Gary?
Thank you, Dr. Carruthers, and I appreciate the opportunity to say a few words about Eric Ma as well. He joined UCSD in 2015 and immediately began working on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion initiatives. The list of accomplishments is too great to enumerate entirely, but he has chaired or co-chaired many health sciences initiatives supporting and addressing disparities in healthcare and research based on race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and gender identity. He also sponsored medical and pharmacy student affinity groups and activities including the Rainbow Pin Ceremony, Trans Week of Visibility, and many others. More recently, he started outreach with graduate medical education, working with residents and trainees from underrepresented backgrounds and first-generation college-attending individuals. We're very lucky to have Eric as part of our health sciences family, and many of our successes are attributable to his energy, inclusiveness, and personal touch. Let me add my congratulations on behalf of the institution to Eric for all of his outstanding work.
In 2021, deep in the heart of the COVID pandemic, Professor Vashon Wright came to Scripps Institution of Oceanography. Vashon is a geologist. He specializes in an area that is brand new and that he is developing as a focus in earth science. It's called Soft Earth, and it deals with unconsolidated sediments, how they move, how they're activated along faults, and so forth. But he also brought with him an NSF, National Science Foundation, funded program called URGE, Unlearning Racism in the Geosciences. This incredible program was Vashon's idea, and the idea is to train geoscience departments, Earth, Atmosphere, and Ocean Science departments, in the elements of racism, its history, how it plays out in universities, how it plays out in the country, and using that knowledge, develop policies and practices that will help their department or organization change racist policies. Carlene Burton was engaged in URGE before she came to Scripps, but now she wears many hats associated with Scripps and with URGE. She's a PhD student. She's also a research data analyst in our Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Initiative Office. And finally, she's a leader in URGE. She works with URGE pods around the country and around the world, communicating with them, helping them understand how to take advantage of the program and how to make the most of it. We're so proud to have these leaders here at UCSD. Not only are they helping us to unlearn racism, but they're helping the entire field of geoscience here and around the world to unlearn racism. They're wonderful leaders, and we're so proud of them, and we're pleased that they're winning this award for inclusive excellence.
Congratulations, David Favela, on receiving the Inclusive Excellence Award. David is an expert at identifying and connecting entrepreneurs to resources that advance a company's development. These connections aren't always the most obvious or the most accessible for people who do not have a history in business startups like David has. David wanted to ensure that the Talent Foundry is centrally located to ease access from our collaborators to the south and east of the region. And thus, the Talent Foundry is located at UC San Diego's Park and Market Venture downtown. True excellence is achieved when unique perspectives, backgrounds, and heritages are sought out and brought together. David is working to build an ecosystem of innovation, creation, and entrepreneurship, where historically excluded members of our community feel included, welcomed, and respected. Because of his drive and success with the Talent Foundry, David was easily our first choice for this year's Inclusive Excellence Award. In less than 3 months and with no advertising, the program has attracted 50 companies into its initial cohort who will participate in networking and programming opportunities to prepare them for business success throughout the entrepreneurial process. Each founder will be given the space and guidance to not only nurture their own entrepreneurial spirit, but to inspire others to redefine their potential and ultimately uplift an entire community, one innovation at a time. David's goal and our goal with the program is to create a wave. This first cohort leads by example and sets the stage for others within their sphere of influence to think differently about what an innovator looks like and who can succeed as an entrepreneur. He is building exactly what the Talent Foundry title says, a talented group of founding leaders who are driven to support one another and influence cohorts of leaders to come. Congratulations, David Favela, on this well-deserved award.
Resource Management and Planning, R&P, is a highly diverse, service-centric organization. As co-chairs of R&P's Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Action, IDEA, task group, Allison Hung and Brian Hooks exemplify R&P's commitment to promoting an inclusive culture comprised of staff from diverse backgrounds, encouraging the creative and unique perspectives that each of our employees bring to the workplace, and recognizing that our differences inspire the innovative ideas that help us overcome our challenges to succeed. RMP would like to recognize Allison and Brian for their collective actions in establishing the Workplace Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, Action Practical Series certificate as part of the UC Learning Center course curriculum. As the appointed chairs of the RMP IDEA Task Force, Allison and Brian spearheaded the initiative to further enhance the task group's understanding and recognition of implicit biases and expand their skills to advance meaningful and impactful diversity, equity, and inclusion practices. They identified opportunities for the task group, such as the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion SkillSoft per SIPO classes, which all members were required to complete. After completion of the courses, the task group agreed and felt strongly that this series would greatly benefit the RMP community and should be shared broadly. Brian and Allison collaborated with staff education on the development of creating a certificate program which included the identification and organization of the courses into a series, developing and adding the learning objectives and descriptions, and establishing the process flow for the certificate based on the completion of all 5 courses. My sincere congratulations to Allison and Brian for this award, and most importantly, I'm humbled by all the great work that they've done throughout the last several years. Thank you.
I want to congratulate Andrew Waugh, Director of Student Affairs, Case Management Services, and Student Affairs, for being our recipient of the UC San Diego Inclusive Excellence Award. For those of you that know Andrew, you know that he has a heart of gold and that all of the work that he does in support of equity, diversity, and inclusion and justice and belonging is informed by improving the student experience. Andrew's work in particular this last year with partners in EDI, the undergraduate colleges, and GEPA was in response to anti-Asian hate that we were seeing across the country. To address this on our campus, to bring colleagues and students and faculty and team members together to better understand the experience of being an Asian American, an Asian Pacific Islander, a member of the AppyMed community, Andrew Waugh worked as a co-chair to bring to UC San Diego the inaugural AppyMed Symposium. Andrew also, in his leadership role and collaborative roles, works to bring EDI-informed student services to bear in all of the work he leads or co-leads in Student Affairs Case Management Services.
In the brief time that I've had the opportunity to work with Andrew, I've quickly learned that he has the skills and knowledge to understand diversity, equity, and inclusion at an institutional and systemic level, and he knows how to apply day-to-day practices to support our students in one-on-one settings to help them find their sense of belonging on campus. Andrew is so deserving of this recognition. We're so excited for you in the Division of Student Affairs. Congratulations, Andrew, for all that you've accomplished and for this recognition.
Congratulations, Andrew, on this incredible recognition of the work that you do day in and day out. We're very honored to have selected you in Student Affairs as our recipient for this year's UC San Diego Inclusive Excellence Award. Congratulations, Andrew.
Jody Traver and Ayelet Rubenfein are passionate about social justice and health equity. In 2020, Jody and Ayelet were looking for a way to help our community process the horrific killings of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. Team members needed space to grieve, to share, and to talk openly. Many were searching for ways to get involved to help make change, and others wanted a better understanding of the chronic and persistent impact of systemic racism. Jody and Ayelet stepped up and led the way. They created the Nursing Social Justice Forums. These forums promoted dialogue and learning among peers in a safe space. At a time during the pandemic when everyone felt isolated, these virtual meetings were vital to building and maintaining connections to one another. Success followed, interest grew, and so did Jody and Ayelet's commitment. They expanded the forums to include all health and campus staff. Junior staff were looking for mentors, and senior staff were yearning for new ways to give back. Seeing the need, they created and rolled out new mentorship programs. They used software to connect people with similar professional interests. Both the software and our mentorship program now provide more holistic scope of interests. This helps match mentees with mentors more accurately and fosters more meaningful connections. These are just a few examples of Jody and Ayelet's ongoing commitment to continuous improvement. They are truly champions, fully engaged in creating and connecting the culture at UC San Diego Health, a culture where everyone feels cared for and belongs. Their work has made UC San Diego Health a better place to work and receive care. Thank you, Jody, and thank you, Ayelet. Thank you for finding new ways to bring all of us closer together.
My colleague, Professor Javier Duarte, has been a strong, engaged advocate for equity, diversity, and inclusion in the Department of Physics at UCSD. His commitment to equity is unambiguous, stated clearly on his group's homepage. We are committed to creating an anti-racist, inclusive, and supportive workspace. His commitment to equity extends beyond words, as he has taken action and leadership to address inequities in our community and to support diverse students in the physical sciences. One specific example has been his effort to introduce holistic practices in our physics graduate admissions process, practices that aim to reduce the implicit biases that all faculty have when evaluating potential students for our department. As a junior faculty member, he led multiple discussions within the committee on the evidence, importance, and practice of holistic admissions, including how to develop robust rubric-based reviews. He led by example by coordinating the development of rubrics within the high energy group in physics. As chair of the Astronomy PhD Graduate Admissions Committee, I've been inspired by Professor Duarte's work in this area and have benefited from his inherently collaborative approach to changing the culture of our department to be inclusive for all. Professor Duarte has also worked to increase the diversity of our student population by coordinating graduate recruitment efforts at SACNAS, the National Society of Black Physicists, and our student-led Graduate Student Diversity Initiative, for which he serves as the faculty advisor. In addition, Professor Duarte is working to support the persistence of diverse students toward advanced degrees, both on campus and in the broader physics community. Javier excels in establishing a very healthy working environment that supports equity, diversity, and inclusion. Javier is constantly working toward making the physics department a more welcome and inclusive place. I can think of no one who has demonstrated more compassion and engagement in EDI efforts in the UCSD Department of Physics. I'm very proud to have had the opportunity to nominate Javier for this well-deserved recognition.
There can be significant barriers for our underrepresented staff to access or understand the benefits that the university offers. Lack of fluency in English, issue with computer access, lack of scheduling flexibility. It is particularly true for our Latinx and Chicanx staff community. Blanca is not only a tireless advocate for our minorities, but she has taken multiple initiatives to improve their access and meet their unique needs.
As a senior benefits analyst in campus human resources, Blanca supports thousands of faculty and staff with life-changing benefits decisions. In addition to providing expert benefits counseling, Blanca has been a tireless advocate for greater benefits equity and inclusion across campus. Recognizing the unique challenges faced by our Latinx community, Blanca has implemented innovative tools and resources to help Spanish speakers navigate the complexity of their benefits. From multilingual benefits workshops to bilingual office hours or even recorded benefits presentations available on demand, Blanca has made significant contributions to promote benefits literacy and equity campus-wide. Recently, she dedicated hours of her time translating retirement materials in Spanish in close collaboration with UC Office of the President. This 90-slide retirement presentation available on UCNet is now being used by thousands of employees across the entire UC system as they prepare for retirement and establish a financially secure future. I am so proud of Blanca and the great work she has done to advance UC San Diego's EDI efforts and promote cross-cultural competency in campus HR. Thank you again, Blanca, for your work grounded in principles of equity, inclusion, and diversity, and congratulations again on this remarkable accomplishment.
It's thanks to people like Blanca that UC San Diego is taking strides in becoming a truly inclusive community.
Consuelo is a third-year student in the David Gonzalez Lab. She studies the microbiome and host interactions in disease. Her specific area of interest is inflammatory bowel disease and therapeutic target discovery. Consuelo has co-authored over 11 publications and is on the gastrointestinal T32 training grant and SEED fellowship.
I have had the privilege of working with Consuelo since fall of 2020 when she joined the Biomedical Sciences graduate program. We are so very proud of her for earning this award because she has contributed so much to our program and the university as a whole. She is truly making advancements for underrepresented groups in science that have been long overdue.
Consuelo's work has been absolutely critical in executing, promoting, and institutionalizing diversity and inclusion efforts through both our graduate program and UCSD School of Medicine. In addition to Consuelo's contributions to scientific research, she's also incredibly active in our PhD program and the Diversity Committee.
Consuelo also created her own seminar series at UCSD called Science Isn't Perfect, But You Are. This seminar series is to provide transparency about obstacles in academia faced by those who identify as underrepresented minorities.
In addition to this, she's also a mentor for the Encuentros Leadership Academy, where she mentors high school student trainees from historically marginalized communities.
Through our program, Consuelo has also served as our annual BMS retreat coordinator. In this role, she was the first to make it a priority to integrate the Diversity Committee into the BMS Student Council and lead a diversity seminar as part of our core annual retreat programming events.
She has had many great mentors in her life, but would like to especially thank her PhD advisor, David Gonzalez, and her UCSD STARS mentor from 2014, Joanne Trejo. As you can see, Consuelo is incredibly involved in her research, mentorship, teaching, and outreach, but she also has many hobbies outside of these. She is also a wonderful friend, loving daughter and sister, and is well respected by our whole entire program and by everyone who knows her. She was an amazing caregiver to her mother and is a loving guardian to her niece and nephew.
Consuelo is constantly coming up with ideas for new activities that promote inclusivity and diversity within the program and at UCSD, and we are so proud of her achievements. We can't wait to see what she'll achieve in her future career and for the futures of all underrepresented groups in science.
Congratulations, Consuelo!
At UC San Diego's Department of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Reproductive Sciences, our mission is to serve our community with quality and just health care for everyone. We believe that our best is reflected in our clinical, educational, and research endeavors when our culture fosters and values diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice. To that end, in September 2020, our department established the Culture and Justice Quorum to ensure our excellence is inclusive and our department is a place where everyone can thrive.
The quorum is composed of faculty, staff, and trainees dedicated to advancing a culture of EDI and justice known as ambassadors. The quorum, chaired by Department's Vice Chair for Culture and Justice, meets monthly with a goal to create community, build capacity, and develop strategies to shape and inspire an anti-racist and inclusive academic community.
Our quorum activities center our goals to identify and dismantle structures of systemic racism within our spaces, operations, activities, and policies, empower our faculty and staff and trainees to recognize and address racism through individual self-reflection and community learning, foster a health system that provides equitable outcomes and optimal experiences for all populations with special attention to minoritized communities, and partner with our community as allies for health, healing, and justice.
Since its inception, the Quorum has made great strides in many areas. To highlight a few examples, the Quorum co-created and disseminated an anti-racism statement, highlighting the department's values and commitments for anti-racism to our colleagues, our patients and their families, our learners and trainees, and our stakeholders.
A deep, ongoing commitment to anti-racism in academic medicine requires strategic, intentional efforts at the individual, departmental, and institutional levels. The Quorum Ambassadors are a group that elevates inclusive excellence, honors the cultural diversity of our colleagues, promotes equity at UC San Diego, makes our institution a better place to work, and demonstrates exemplary support for our principles of community.
In addition, we increase support for applicants and trainees underrepresented in medicine by restructuring the application process and selection criteria to improve diversity, equity, and inclusion, creating a new recruitment video highlighting EDI and justice efforts, and creating affinity spaces.
We are also growing our future leaders for an anti-racist community. We host an annual MLK reception, and we have partnered with the UCSD medical students to create a Black Maternal Health Week program. We communicate our work broadly through our department newsletter.
Thank you all for being here. Sorry, I'm a little emotional. I was really appreciative of all of this work. And I know, so I'm going to go off script again. Sorry. I know how much your heart is in this work that you all did. And I know that it takes a lot of effort. I think about the 90 pages of translation that Blanca did. Just shout out to Blanca Reyes in HR. Woo. But I think about all of that effort, and it just made me emotional because that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of care. It takes a really intent to make a change. And, you know, Dr. Pettit talks all the time about us being intentional and the things that we do to advance equity, diversity, and inclusion. And that work that you all did was intentional, and it was purposeful, and it was meaningful. And so I thank you all very much for it. Okay, back on script. Thank you all for being here and with us to celebrate these amazing honorees. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of their contributions and commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion. A special thank you to the events and programs team in HR for their hard work in bringing us back in person and all of the work to facilitate access via Zoom today and these past few years. Thank you to all the volunteers, the nominees, the nominators. I know that's a lot of work to write dissertations about how wonderful everyone is. The committee members, our translators, and last but not least, thank you to Chancellor Khosla, and thank you to Dr. Peckett. Becky's gonna kill me. And to Dr. Pettit for their support and partnership. Now it's time for all honorees who would like to take photos with the Chancellor, Dr. Pettit, and myself, and your respective Vice Chancellor. Please stick around to take those pictures, and we'll take a group photo so that you can be memorialized like everyone else. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for this time and work. Oh, there you go. I'm just gonna say Becky.